Good, y'all. Man, it's been a phenomenal journey, but I detailed this to y'all last time. Today, we're doing the final episode of the greatest show on earth, whether you know it yet or not. But you're here, so you probably know it by now. This is the Tried and True podcast where I like to keep it a buck in what y'all already know. I ain't got to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. All pennies. With the listeners, with the viewers, with sometimes with my guests, but today you getting yeah, boy. I'm here by myself to wrap this up, man. I just felt like it was relevant and necessary for me to get some one-on-one time with the digital fam. We are taking a look at uh, the journey, from a finale's perspective. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to make this about a chapter. I don't even want to make this about some sort of themed episode. I got a couple of bullets that were just on my heart the other day, and I just threw them down, man. It was something that, hit me on a spiritual level. But yeah, like I said, we're wrapping up season one. This is a big accomplishment. I know it ain't too many episodes, but um, for a show that has gone through so many ups and downs with me, y'all have seen me go through so many different things, whether you recognize it or not. Um, it's just a very personal experience for me, but I'm glad I get to share it with folks. And I'm at the crib, I'm at the crib. So I started working with another production company. Shout out to them. I'm working with Digital Impact Studios. They are reigning and hailing out of Baltimore, Maryland. So shout out to them. You're going to see a lot more content coming out. Just a tried and true Coach Solly collaboration with Digital Impact Studios. Whole lot of stuff coming that I'm excited about, man. Me and the folks over there doing some great work. But shout out to them for helping me produce this. But as I said, I'm at the crib, man, and they understand the vision. So once again, shout out to them, Digital Impact Studios, Baltimore, Maryland. If you in the area, you got content you need created, whether it's audio or visual, hit up your boys over there at Digital Impact Studios. But I'm not even gonna make this a long one, y'all. I just kind of want to discuss the things that I had on my heart and get out of here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm gonna take that much of a break between season one and season two, but we're at the point where some of the content, obviously, I have pre-recorded, but a lot of this stuff I'm just doing as I go, which y'all can see, and which makes it relevant to the time that we're in. Um, yeah, So I kind of want to give y'all some personal updates, but it ain't too many things that have changed since last time. I'm getting closer to my investment goal, my next investment goal, which is purchasing my first apartment building, So that's an update. I'm working on it. Tough process being on the East Coast, being in the DMV. You got two sides to this investment thing out here. So if you're a realtor out here or an investor out here, you understand what I'm finna say. You got the side of, the buildings that are luxury. You got the buildings that are not luxury, but are just more expensive due to the time that we're in. 800,000, 900,000, millions. And then you got the other side where things are underpriced, but it's because of the areas they're in where they need to be revitalized and they have not yet. There's some areas like that. So it's been a peculiar time for me trying to decide where to start, because what I want to do, and I'm not going to give away the whole sauce, or the areas, but there's some areas in Baltimore and some areas in Maryland, or excuse me, on the side of Maryland that I stay, which is the other side, not in Baltimore, but there's some areas where I want to purchase the properties. I want to revitalize the community, like actual blocks, and I want to make the housing affordable because our people, are just not being recognized, and we're being mistreated, and we're being pushed out of certain areas. And if I can help be part of the solution, work with the community developers, capture those areas before the people who want us out, some of these foreign folks or white folks, some of those folks, they want us out. Some of the black folk, but all skin folk and kin folk, some of them want us out. I'm not that dude, so I feel like I can be part of the solution if I can help capture these places, create affordable housing, revitalize the area, and create jobs, create some storefronts. I would love to do that. But where do I start? I got to get my feet in the door. I got to do something that's financially sound. It ain't just me. So looking at some different areas where, as an intro into the game in this area, maybe I could get an apartment building. Maybe it has tenants already. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't need as much work. Maybe it's not such a huge risk because I'm not playing with the same amount of capital as some of these other folks are yet. That happens after you get one, maybe two under your belt. Or if you just come in the game with a whole bunch of money, which I didn't. I'm bootstrapping it. You know what I'm saying? Your boy started from under the mud, if you can imagine what that's like. So the update there is I'm talking with one realtor mostly, but a couple of them. I got some money ready to spend. So I got the knowledge I've been studying for years, but that's where I'm at, man. Trying to figure it out. It's tough. It's competitive. You know, we still in the pandemic, so it's a lot of folks that think they know what they're doing, but don't really. They rushing in because they see an opportunity. They gon' a lot of them are gonna have to sell in the next year or two. So, but I'm really in this for the long run. Like I did the learning, and my pops is a real estate investor, so I'm not totally brand new. But I ain't gonna pretend I'm already doing it. I'm like the kid who studied, but there's no way to truly understand what a push-up feels like until you get on the ground and you do one. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with that personal update. Still, still chefing it up at the crib. My cooking hasn't gotten any worse. It's only getting better. Um, let's see, getting ready to move from one apartment to a different apartment. So that's dope. Me and Khalil relocating not far, maybe 10, 15 minutes away from where we're at right now. Location undisclosed, so y'all can't find me, but so that's new. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Still going strong with the podcast, still content creating, still investing in people, small businesses, black and brown folks, still investing in artists, producers, and music. It's another place my heart is at. So yeah, there's the update with that, man. I don't want to keep it all business when I get on the podcast. Let's have some personal stuff too. As I said, once this episode airs, you might have like 24 to 48 hours after that to grab the book. But then it's going to go away for a little while because I really want to focus on the next piece of literary content that I produce. I want the focus to be on that. And I got some other things I'm going to do with y'all centered around financial literacy, blah, 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 stuff like that I'll talk about later. But you know what I'm saying? That's the update. Let's get into this though. Excuse me. One of the things that has been on my heart, speaking of this podcast and having sort of a finale's perspective, one of the things that's been on my heart is people starting things and people finishing things. As I look into and I delve into the details of what it takes to become a finisher for real, not for cap. I start to think about the times when I was afraid to start. I get so caught up in the details of things. I get analysis paralysis. I'm a high C, that's an air traffic controller, and I'm also a high S. So that's the grounds crew. And but I'm an adaptive D, which is the pilot. Okay. If you don't know what I'm talking about, get into the flight assessment. If you need more information about the flight assessment, or if you need to more help breaking down your personality so that you can use it to your best advantage and use you, in the ways that you need to use you to get better results, hit your boy up and I can walk you through it. But for sake of time, I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but that's the flight assessment. So the pilot, the grounds crew, the air traffic controller, and the flight attendant are those four main components, personality types that come with all these different details. And it's like a big old tree with a bunch of roots. But, simply put, I'm an adaptive D, which means if I'm under pressure, I go into straight pilot mode. But naturally, I'm a air traffic controller, super detail oriented to the point where I can get analysis paralysis. I suffer from that. And that's been on my heart lately because I've been finishing things lately. I've been really seeing things through lately and having to push through a lot of adversity to get things done. And it's on me to tell people, number one, you have what you need. You have what you need. I know that, people like me can write it all out. They can plan it all out and it can take years. You could plan it all out and you can know that you don't know to the point where you'll stay stuck and try to figure out what you're missing forever. And you'll never actually do anything, or you'll spend so much time trying to get the resource so that you can start. But you have to start in order to finish. And you have everything you need. Someone who started with zero. All right. I'm talking about scratch. Okay. Almost every single thing that I'm doing in life right now, I'd start from scratch. If not every single thing I'm doing in life right now, started from scratch, negative, below zero. But so I understand that you have to just start. I didn't have an usher into this podcast game. I didn't have like an up close blueprint for me to look at. I was I just had to figure it out. Okay. I watched people on YouTube. I listened to a lot of different podcasts to try and figure it. And this is just an example to try and figure it out. Even with the book, published authors in my family one of them being my brother who was on a previous episode. But so I got to watch his process, but there's a lot of things that I knew I needed to do that he didn't do. He was like blazing the trail. He didn't really have examples up close like that. I saw his writing process. But that's about it. I didn't even see his publishing process. If we're being honest, like I saw the way he was moving the books, moving the boxes of books. I saw some of the ways that he wanted to market, but I'm the person who understands marketing and branding. So there's a lot of things that I understood about that he hadn't done yet. But I had that stuff in the back of my mind. But neither of us like were able to navigate book deals, or we didn't truly fully understand the publishing stuff like that because it was his first one. So what I had to do is I had to realize that I have what I need. And when I need something else, I'll be able to go get it. I had to trust myself. You have to, first of all, realize that you have everything that you need right now. And if something comes across your table and you realize that you need something else, you have the capability to go get it. So just start with what you have. Start with what you have. And the next thing is pull from your path. All right. So you're going to start. You're going to realize that there's a whole bunch of stuff that you ain't got yet. And the path is just going to be a rigorous one. It takes a lot from you. It takes a lot of sacrifice from you once you start, especially if you starting from scratch. It's going to take a lot from you, but you have to take away from it as well. Don't just let it take from you. The knowledge and the wisdom that I have right now, the resources that I have right now, and the capability I have, the way that I've been able to stretch. So now I'm more versatile than I was and agile. So I can move. I know how to move in a room full of anybody, anything, whether it's vultures, whether it's eagles, whether it's chickens, okay, ostriches, it don't matter. I can move in a room with the best of them, and I can move in a room with the worst of them, because the path didn't just take from me. I took from the path. I paid attention along the way. Let me say that again. I paid attention along the way. When I didn't have something, I paid attention. What do I need? How do I get it? What don't I have? What are the issues that it causes? That's why I know how to speak to these things for other people. I can only coach people because of the mistakes that I made, the failures I had, and then afterwards being able to rearrange that failure and take it to a level of success, right? I have been able to reverse engineer my experiences in a way that allows me to have the blueprint and talk about it, because I took from the path. I ain't just let the path take from me. Okay. Next thing, you have got to understand that you are a finisher. Listen, you have to recognize yourself as a finisher. I understand the need for affirmation from other people. Like I said, I'm a ground scrum, high S. I'm supportive. I'm a supporter. Okay. I'm not going to always affirm myself. I get so caught up in affirming other people that I forget that I need it for myself. And I'll look for it in other people as well. I'm an air traffic controller, super detail oriented, super process oriented. Okay. I get so caught up in doing, and putting things together that I forget that I need to rest and I need to pat myself on the back. And because I forget to do it for me, a lot of times I expect to get it from other people. Like I'll just expect to get it from other folks. First of all, it's not their job. People should be doing that for each other. Don't get me wrong. Your innermost circle should encourage you. They should feed you and give you life and speak life. It ain't it's their job, but it's not my job to put that job on them. Listen, when they're not around and they're not doing it because they're focused on getting it done, making it happen, I got to get it from me. I have to tell myself and remind myself that I'm a finisher. I'm capable of finishing. It's like I said last time, or excuse me, the time before last. You could finish strong, but you got to know what finishing strong actually means. It's finishing, period, with what you have, with the energy you have. Listen, you can only do the best you know how to do with what you have. Your best is not the same as somebody else's best, but the whole moral of that and the whole principle of that is just giving it your best shot. Simple as just continuing to give it your best shot and realizing that you are a finisher. You don't recognize yourself as a finisher. The odds of you finishing are so much lower. Okay. For me, it don't matter what the odds look like. I'm a bet on myself. I've always been that way. I very rarely go into a thing having every single thing I need to actually complete a thing, but I will always bet on my capability to figure it out. I know how far my reach is. I can get the resources. I can get the resource. It don't anything, even with this real estate stuff. Listen, I'm not afraid. The market's gonna do what the market is gonna do. I've seen the ups, I've seen the downs. This is the first time that I've been financially capable during a time when the market looks like it's gonna take a shift and this economy is really gonna shift in some ways that it has in the past. I'm financially capable. I'm going in. I'm not afraid. I'll take the risk because I understand my ability to figure it out. I've had nothing. I've been down, past my last. I've been depressed. I've been sad, and I've been alone. And I've been with people who I've even been around people who kicked me when I was down. I've been around some people who didn't even kick me. They just ignored me when I was down. Some people I thought were my friends, but I got out of that. Okay. I have pulled from my path. That was part of my path. What I pulled from it was knowledge of self. So I can. Okay. So if it happened then, I could do it again. So I'm not afraid of it. Okay. I'm I'm fully capable and I'm fully confident in my ability to make it through any level of adversity at all ever. I can make it through any of it. Very few things that I'm not sure if I can make it through. If anything, there's some people in my life right now. If I lost them, I don't know what I would do. I just know I'd keep waking up and I keep waking up and I keep waking up until one day it wasn't as heavy. I've had to do it before. So I pulled from that part of my path, knowledge of self. I know more of my capability. I know I'm a finisher. Me finishing season 1 of this podcast is going to fuel me to continue to do podcasting. It's going to fuel me through season 2. When more adversity shows up, I'm going to remember I finished season 1. I finished the book. I know if I can finish the book, then I can finish season 1, then I can finish season 2. Okay. With the real estate stuff, there's going to be problems. I don't know what they are, but something's going to happen and it's going to hit me hard. That's the way it goes. It's ups and downs. What did Nip say? It's ups and downs for a real one. It's ups and it's downs. I know there's a down on the way. I know, but I also know that I'm a finisher and I'm capable of getting through that. Boom. So that's another one of these points I got. And listen, moving into the final thing that I want to highlight for y'all. I told y'all this is going to be a short one. I'm feeling a lot of gratitude. I'm feeling some angst about the next one, my next shot. I'm feeling a lot about what is the example I'm setting. I was doing a devotional last night. Me and Kalia were reading. And one of the questions in the thing was, what example do you want to set? What example do you believe you're already setting? So I'm feeling a lot of pressure about that. I got a lot of eyes on me, usually, whether they be digital or in real life. Way more eyes when I show up in real life. I'm not an internet person. Y'all can have internet. Just like Dirk said, y'all can have internet. I'm an example in real actual life. So when I show up certain places, a lot of eyes might turn toward me. I feel a lot of pressure. But I got to remind myself of this final point. And it's been on my heart. I got to say it to y'all. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to prove. If you're going to prove something to somebody, then prove it to yourself. But also remember that you have nothing to prove. You're worthy when you wake up. All right. You were intentionally designed the way that you are. As it presently stands, you were intentionally designed this way. So if you add nothing else to yourself, if you stop right now, you're worthy of respect and you're worthy of honor. It don't matter if other people recognize that, people you around want to acknowledge that, or even if you want to acknowledge that. It doesn't matter even if you want to acknowledge that or not. You have nothing to prove to anybody. We're all just trying to figure this out. We're all worthy of respect and honor. We're all worthy of, we all deserve what we currently have. If we want something else, if we believe we deserve something else, we need to get it because we deserve what we currently have. You woke up for a specific reason. Your creator believed that you deserved another day. You have nothing to prove. That's big. I struggle with that every day. I struggle with that now. But that's the reason why it's on my heart. All right. That's the reason why it's on my heart. So I'm going to recap these points for y'all. And then I'm going to leave it. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wrap it up. After I recap these points with y'all, I'm going to wrap it up by reading what the final quote of the book was. Oh, man, it's a good one. I'm going to pull that up. And that's what I'm going to leave y'all with. Here it comes. Okay. All right. Recap these points. You have what you need. That was number 1. You have what you need. You have what you need to start. You may or may not have what you need, like all of the materials you need to finish, but you have you, and you are all that you need to start and to finish this thing. The second one, pull from the path. It's already taken from you. Look at everything that you had to sacrifice to get to this point. Everything that was taken from you, everything that you gave up. Okay. The only difference between a loss and a sacrifice is perspective. Take from the path. It's already taken from you. You've already had to sacrifice. You're going to have to continue to sacrifice. Get what you're paying for. You are a finisher. Stop sleeping on yourself. Come on now. If you're going to be slept on, let it be by somebody else. Don't sleep. Don't you sleep on you. Stop that. The OGs remember that. Stop that. And the last thing, you ain't got nothing to prove. Not to me, not to nobody. And if you're going to prove something, prove it to yourself. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to prove, and I'm going to leave y'all. I'm going to leave y'all with this. Oh, man. I'm going to leave y'all with this. So this was the quote that I left at the end of my book. I just wanted, I pulled a verse from the Bible. It was something that I wanted to leave people with. As y'all know, if you read the book, hopefully you did. It's not a long read. It's an easy read because there are people out there who are doers. Now, a lot of people who are not actually doers, they just consume a lot of content, right? So they have time to read longer books. They watch a lot of stuff, maybe on TV. They consume a lot more visual content, even things that you like read with your eyes. But the doers a lot of times listen to things. And because the audio book has yet to be released, I understood that maybe I wanted to keep this one shorter because I'm a doer and I'm around a lot of doers, but I want them to still be able to get this. Okay, so it's shorter. So I left a verse at the end that I felt like, even if you had to breeze through this, even if you don't read this again, you might remember this verse and it'll stick with you. It's super well known. And it's from Hebrews 11:1. Hebrews 11:1. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I'm leaving y'all with that, Coach Solly. Man, all I can say to y'all is that it's a wrap, man. We finish, but we ain't done. So, peace, and until season 2, we've all been tried, and let me tell y'all, it's all true.